Hello, it's me again, your friendly neighborhood Joseph McClendon III, and happy holidays to you. And I hope it's okay that every once in a while I poke my head in and give you a little video or some advice or some coaching from some of the things that my coaches have given to me through the years in terms of personal development and helping our lives go better. And I know you'll join me in recognizing that we have all got to make a difference in this world so that in the future, as things start to come down in these historic times, as I like to say, that we become examples of what is possible for the rest of the world. And no better time than right now, as you've probably heard me say before. And as my dad always said to me, he said the best thing that you can do for poor people, and remember, poor is not necessarily financially, although that might include that, but spiritually, emotionally, physically, health-wise, relationships, all of those things. The best thing you can do for others that don't have high levels in those areas, the best thing you can do is not be one of them. And in short, is to be all that you can be. And, you know, people keep asking me, as a peak performance coach, you know, everything that I've learned from my mentors who've really given a piece of their heart and a piece of them to help me, and it's been my quest to share that as much as it's what I owe to really share as much of what I've gotten with other people as well. And people keep asking me, well, why are you making such a big deal about the New Year's resolutions and about this time of year and everything? And the reason is because this time of year is the time to set up the year coming up, and it really is. You know, when you look back, the new year is a measuring stick. You look back over the year, and most people are going, I'm glad that '08 is over, you know, and I can't look forward. I want you to be able to look back in '09 and go, you know what, that was a great year. That was an unbelievable year. And I remember when I set those goals to do it now. And people are asking me, well, why do I make such a big deal about the New Year's resolutions and why they don't work? And what I wanted to share with you is my top 10 reasons, if you will, why New Year's resolutions don't work. And number one is most of them are made at the last moment without much thought. You know, people are asked, you know, at the stroke of midnight or close or a little shortly after that, well, what are your New Year's resolutions? And let's just say that most people at that point, they're in their state of clarity of mind is not necessarily at its peak, to put it mildly. And, you know, they'll say, well, you know what? I'm going to lose weight this year, or I'm going to, I'm not going to be as negative, or I'm, you know, going to try and make some more money, and so on and so forth. And they make that decision right then and there, and they think about it, which means they haven't given it any forethought, and that moves into step number two, or the reason number two why New Year's resolutions don't work, and that is that there's no plan, you know, and as the old saying goes, if you fail to plan, then you definitely plan to fail. But it goes deeper than that. There's really no plan set in place of what you're going to do tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. That one's a kind of an obvious no plan. But the second type of plan that I'm talking about is a plan for continued conditioning of oneself so that they do more. And here's what that means. A plan of working on oneself so that one automatically, without, you know, hesitation and without procrastination, gets up early, stays up late, and does the things that are necessary to get the goals that they want to make happen. Because the things that we want, I'm sure you'll agree with me, if you want more, you got to be willing to do more. And sometimes that do more is a little uncomfortable. But, you know, when we set our stakes in the ground and when we condition ourselves, it becomes less uncomfortable. The third thing is people don't really necessarily believe that they can accomplish what their goal is. You know, in their mind, they go, well, I never have been thin, or I never have been healthy, or I've never had money, or if I've never been in a great relationship, and so on and so forth. So there's a core inside of them that doesn't believe it. And again, if there's nothing done about changing that belief, then it's going to be just empty words. Number four, there's no follow through or accountability. In other words, if we use ourselves as that gauge, or we use ourselves as, you know, our history in our New Year's resolution, or sticking to the things that we're going to do, there's nobody to go, listen, you know, did you do this? You know, and if there's nobody to be held accountable to, then it's easy to fall off. So no accountability. Number five, no references or resources to help you make what you want to make happen. And what that means is, you know, the tools that you're going to need, the resources that you're going to need to help you make your dreams, your goals, and so on and so forth. You know, where are you going to get that from? Who are you going to model? Which that means is, you know, somebody that's already successful at what you want to do. Instead of going through the school of hard knocks like they may have, You can, as my friends say, turn decades into days, shorten the amount of time, or compress time by simply modeling what they did. And most people don't have those resources in play. Next, no emotional attachment to what they want. And here's what that means. They don't really have a deep-seated emotion, want or drive behind what they want to make happen. And if you don't have that, emotions drive our actions, and actions produce the results. And if you don't have, a real intense feeling about something, then you won't do it. When things get hard, then you won't do it. Think about those times in your life when you were really excited about something and you really wanted to make something happen. Didn't you get up early, stay up late? Didn't you do those things? Well, most people don't attach themselves because they don't believe in their dream or their goal that they can do it. 7, which is, I guess I probably should have said this is number 1. I fight with this where it is, but they're not necessarily absolutely clear on what that goal is. People say, I want to lose some weight. Well, how much weight? People want to make some more money. Well, how much money? That clarity, that specificity is power. In my belief, it sends it out there to the universe or your God or whatever to send it to you because they know exactly what you want. The more you get clear on something, the more it starts to dance its way into your life. Oh, don't get me started. Number 8. Is the goal is not as clear and specific as they need it to be in terms of their reasons why. And here's what I mean by that. Whys come first and hows come second. You may have heard me say this before. Your reasons why. Human beings do some amazing things when they have a strong enough reason why. My age-old analogy is if there's a house and it's surrounded by a moat full of water, and in that water are alligators, crocodiles, sharks, piranha, all kinds of dangerous animals. And then you and I are standing outside that house, and there's a fence around that house, an electric fence that'll kill you if you touch it, and a sign on it that says that if you trespass, you're going to get a LAPD beat down. And you and I are standing outside the house, and I tell you, if you go in that house, laying on the bed, there's a $10 bill. And, will you go in that house? And unless you're crazy or you have a death wish, of course you won't go in the house because it's only $10. But if I tell you, in that house, laying in the bed, is the person that you love the most in life, and that house is on fire, and if you don't get in and wake them up, they're going to die, you'll do it. Because you have a strong enough reason why. It's part of who we are as human beings. It's our human nature. So what we can do is develop our own reasons why we want to make something happen, and you instill and you inspire and you empower that part of you that works naturally to make you do the things that you want to make happen. Number 9 is that it's usually stated in the negative. People say, I want to lose weight, or I don't want to be broke anymore. I don't want to, have the challenges that I had last year. And when we do that, it causes us not to feel good. It causes us to look at the negative. And when we say we don't want something, it's almost like saying, I do want something. And then the last thing is, it's just not fun. I mean, think about it. Most people, they don't want to exercise if they want to lose weight. They don't want to change their eating habit. It's just not fun. So do you have a plan in place to make it fun? Most people don't. And that is why I'm so excited to share with you. Now, by the way, whatever you use, I want you to find something. I have something called the New Year's Evolution, because we've evolved the process. It's very simple to cover all of these areas so that you do something. It's not just a goal-setting workshop. It's something designed so that you can get all of these areas that I talked about in place, something to take, that you can do every single day. It takes maybe 10 minutes of your day to make it happen. 5 simple steps. And again, use whatever that you're going to use, but do something now so that we can all make a difference in this year to come up. Let the rest of the world do what they're going to do and be, and you be that shining example of what's possible. Because as you heard me say so many times before, life is exactly what you dare to make it, and fortune favors the bold. So boldly step up and dare to make your life magnificent. God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. For more information on Joseph McClinton III, go to his website, makeyourfate.com. Again, makeyourfate.com.